There is now even a better place for overnight swing trading. You may have seen the big swings in the market lately and wondered, what if? What if I could take advantage of what is actually referred to as the overnight gap? You know, when the market closes at one point and opens up at another, and we've seen some big gaps lately. Well, the good news is there is a way to profit from them. And no, it doesn't matter which direction the market goes. Over the last 5 years, I've been developing a website called spytomorrow.com, which helps give us direction, or at least a hint as to how the market might open the next day by measuring what we refer to as the pressure at the end of the trading day. Makes sense, right? If you just point up all the time, on average through the years, you'd be correct about 54% of the time. So if we could develop a method that's maybe 60, 65, or 70% correct, or even better during some of our winning streaks, well, then you have a way to make money overnight. But what you need is an indicator, and that's what we specialize in at spytomorrow.com. We develop pressure indicators, but we also have other types of meters to help guide us as to how much pressure there is. In other words, how much of a risk should we take? Is it a 50-50 probability, or is it a stronger, maybe 70% probability that our indicator is correct? These types of indicators help us make good decisions, so we're not going into the overnight trade completely blind. Of course, anything could happen overnight, and that's why we like to keep track of the news, maybe earnings reports after the market closes from maybe Google or Apple or even Tesla can really move the market if it doesn't go the investor's way. Even economic reports at 8:30 Eastern Time can be a big player, such as the CPI report or PPI report or jobs reports can shift the mood of the market if it doesn't, once again, go investors' way. So it's important to know what's coming so we can be prepared. There are a number of ways we can trade overnight, and of course we can go directional, meaning if our indicator said up, we would just buy a call, and if our indicator said down, we'd buy a put. However, there are a few ways that we can approach ratio trades to protect ourselves overnight. And the reason we'll often use ratio trades is because we can't place stops overnight. And that's kind of a good thing because we can't get in our own way. That's one reason why day trading can be so tough, because we often get in our own way during the middle of the trade. But with an overnight swing trade, we buy at the very end of the trading day and we sell in the morning. However, we can't stop out overnight. So we use the ratio trade as a hedge to protect ourselves. This way, we can work on maximizing our gains, of course, minimizing our losses. And like I said, you can place directional trades, but if you want to place a ratio trade, there's a few ways we can do it. Now, one common way of going about it is a 2-to-1 ratio trade, which means if our indicator said up, we could buy 2 calls to 1 put. And that way, if our indicator is correct, we'll make money as the calls go up in value. And yes, the put will go down in value, but not as much as the calls go up. Now, there are other ways to go about this too. You can base it off of money. You can base it off of the dollar amount. So you could buy a $2 call and a $1 put. You could also base it off of the delta, meaning you could buy a call delta of 50, but then a put delta of minus 25, again being a 2-to-1 ratio. If your meter readings are strong, you can actually increase that ratio to say 3-to-1, 4-to-1, or even 5-to-1, depending on how much confidence you have in your overnight pressure reading. If you want to play with some numbers, head on over to spytomorrow.com and play with our simulation tool and give you a good sense of how accurate you need to be to meet your goals. The new blue algorithm has been launched and the website has been revamped. My goal is to make Spy Tomorrow the place to go for information for your overnight swing trade. So I have been adding meters and algorithms as well as other information to support you in the process to give you the best information possible so you can make a good trading decision overnight. Although I'm still building tools, Spy Tomorrow with the blue algorithm is officially launched. It looks a lot better, it works a lot better, and I will continue to show you some of the new tools that I'm developing and how to use them in future videos. So the regular videos, yep, they're coming back. Put your questions in the comments below and I'll see you in the next video.